That is a one-time charge of $1,500, and we will help you do this and give you access to all of our training and whatnot. And we'll, look over your job postings, or if you want, our people will even interview the top few and give you the last 3 that you can then interview, right, of all the people that apply. You need an adult who's like early 20s, who can go through our SEO training, and then they're going to apply the Content Factory technique to your site, which is the most legitimate way to do SEO, especially with all the changes occurring with Google with AI content and knowledge panels and that kind of stuff. That being said, is this your agency, Beltway SEO agency?
No.
User website.
Never heard of them.
Okay. I wonder if you have a parasitic footer link. Let's see. No, you don't. So that's okay. And you have 2 LSAs? 2 GMBs with 2 LSAs on them?
Yeah, except for the one that says downtown has changed that address just a week ago. We have to update that.
All right, let's look at your top pages, because now if you have good location service pages, then just focusing on content there and then having quality blog posts that point to those are going to be what drives your SEO. So, this is a good sign. Typically, when we look at law firms, the top URL is the homepage. And then after that, there's like nothing. So whenever we see a URL that is not the homepage, and then we see other sorts of articles, that's a good sign that there's some SEO happening, which may or may not be the ones that are driving calls to your intake. But clearly, things related to Missouri gun laws and Class E felony, speeding ticket, these are ahead of your homepage. These are all ahead of your homepage. That's good, right?
Okay.
So then the question
except we're a DWI and criminal defense law firm. Yes, we take speeding tickets, but that's not our bread and butter. In fact, I don't want more speeding tickets.
Because those are $79 fight your ticket kind of things, right?
Yeah, we charge more than that, but yes. If we were a super large company that did nothing but traffic tickets, that'd be a different story.
Yeah, okay. So do you have any sense?
And we don't want anybody who reaches out to us for the sex offender registry unless they're facing a sex crime and they want to avoid being on the registry. But there's a lot of people who reach out to us and waste our time asking how to get off the registry. And that is not really possible in Missouri.
Okay. Have you made that clear that on the site and the post, you don't do that?
Oh, on the site? I mean, I made it clear to the SEO company, and they're supposed to make it clear on the site.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. If you've been charged, you realize this is your own fault. Because this whole thing looks like a landing page that's there to get people, contact us as call. People are not even going to see this. And so I put something in bold that says, if you're a consumer or if you're looking to get off the sex offender list, we are not for you. Underline bold.
Okay.
Right? Because what happens is Google looks at, so you saw the DOJ lawsuit with Apple and Google back in November, and Google had to disclose how their search algorithm works, which they didn't want to, but they had to. And the big takeaway is from that, which we already knew, but Google had to admit, is that they take into account click data significantly. So they don't actually know that well what happens on this page. So they're looking at what people are clicking on in search results and what they're clicking on your website. So the engagement signals of how people are clicking, that's how Google determines, was this information useful? So if they're reading this and they click on one of these things, but it's not someone you want to talk to, Google's going to interpret that as a good signal because there's no other signal for them to know. So this goes into saying, sounds ridiculous, but the biggest SEO thing here is like you literally aren't telling people clearly what you want and what you don't want, because everything I see here is sex offender, sex offender, sex offender. All right, I've got a question about sex, or I'm a sex offender and I want to get off the list. I'm just going to contact them now because it's everything you need to know about this. Like, okay, well, I want to know, how do I get off the list? Right? I can't be within 100 yards or whatever, whatever the thing is. I don't know what the rules are, thank God. Right? But this is your own fault. Right? Oh, you told the SEO company. Well, it has nothing to do with SEO. It has everything to do with like being very clear about what you do and don't do. Right? So let's see. So Missouri gun laws, is this driving you cases through your intake? People who come in on Missouri gun laws. So that we need to know. We need to answer that. Maybe Search Console or integration with, whatever you're using for your intake can help us determine that. This is something called digital plumbing. So whoever's in charge of your website should implement this digital plumbing, which is tracking the calls all the way through. And it's not that hard now. It does appear technical because you have to set up Google Tag Manager and configure the events and this kind of thing. But I'll give you access to our course just so you can see what it is and send it to your person, digital plumbing course. So this course goes through every single step to implement the tracking so you can determine whether it's PPC or LSA or whatever. Where did that call come from? Because the fact you're getting traffic here is good, but like anything related to Class C felony, you're ranking on that, but is that driving calls? And how many of those turn into cases?
Right.
And what's the value of those cases, right?
Right. And we are trying to track that. And my SEO company just came up with a dashboard that supposedly helps me see all that, but it was very recent.
Well, you have Tag Manager, which is good. You have Google Analytics through multiple accounts. You have remarketing, but maybe this is your old. These are two old accounts. Why do you have two Google Tag Manager accounts? What is this thing built on anyway? Okay, so you're using WordPress hosted on WP Rocket. That's good. You got the Facebook pixels in here. You got landing pages through Unsplash, other plugins, custom audiences. Okay, so I think that really the question is, you're getting this traffic, but we need to tie it. And maybe this new dashboard can show us, but we got to tie the biggest problem with SEO companies that actually do drive traffic. So you're in that rare 5% bucket of SEO companies that actually do drive rankings, but we don't know where those rankings yields cases. Because, like Daryl Isaacs is a big PI in Louisville, and he started a.
I know Daryl. I actually attended his program.
So Daryl was paying $70,000 a month to Jason Hennessy, and Jason Hennessy put up a directory on the site that ranks that he was claiming was successful, but it was a directory on. It was a dictionary on, how do you get a commercial driver's license and how long is a reefer truck and what, like all of these sorts of informational queries, not I got hit in a 8x18 wheeler or the Amazon guy, ran over my foot, or there is none of that. So, who knows, 10,000, 20,000 visits a month from just people who are looking up these terms about wanting to become truck drivers. And Jason's argument was, well, that would, if we rank on those truck related terms, it'll help us rank on truck driving driver lawyer, but it doesn't, right? So just because you get more traffic, it doesn't mean you're getting more cases so I think that's the issue we have to resolve here.
Yes.
Like if you don't know that, like everything, this is the one thing we have to answer before anything else we can really, after all, like we don't really know, right? Search warrants, expungement. I don't know if you do this or not, or first offense.
We do expungements.
Okay. So that's interesting because you really have like 10 URLs that seem to drive traffic. And then these other ones are just super niche, but they could be good depending on what these different Kansas City DUI lawyer, I figure that's pretty good. And maybe because it's low volume,
Yeah,
it's bad, but we're not in a high enough position. I mean, look at this. It's not hard. Difficulty of 20. Your site's a 35. And here's all these related terms. DUI, this is yours. Okay. So let's look. No, it's not yours. Wait. No, we were
yeah, that's not me.
Names all sound the same. Sorry. Wait a minute. That guy was number one. So, all right. So here's where the rubber meets the road. Let's look at your location service pages. So your main one is DWI, right? That's the one you want, what you listed first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. This
one ranks on 100 keywords, even though the site overall has more. If this is the main thing you want, this location page should have a little bit more power to it. And okay, cool. I already know here. Let's take a look at how this page is doing. It's got an 18, which is not bad. And it's inheriting some power from the 35, which gets passed down from the home page down to this page. So this page, DUI defense attorney near me. So this is probably something with your GMB we have to look at. DWI lawyer, Kansas City DUI lawyer, Kansas City.
What does it mean lost in red there?
You're in position 9 and then you don't exist. So let's go look at your GMB data. Everything we're doing here is part of what we teach in an audit, and we teach young adults how to do this all day long. It's super easy, but I just do it for fun because I'm weird like that. I really enjoy this.
I do too, actually.
For me, okay. So your name is sort of generic. So what is it? DWI Defense?
It's DWI and criminal. It's Missouri DWI and Criminal Law Center is the name of the company. Missouri DWI and Criminal Law Center.
Okay. So there should be 2 GMBs that show up.
Correct. One in Belton and one in Kansas City. And the one in Kansas City is currently under review for an address change.
And this one's got more reviews anyway. So let's
correct.
Go. Okay. And let's look at what keywords do you want? DWI? lawyer.
Yeah,
What else?
for
From
sure. A DWI lawyer.
which one?
DUI lawyer.
Okay.
DUI lawyer. Sometimes people use DUI instead.
Okay.
And I would think DUI, and then I don't know after that. DWI attorney. Is it worth trying that word too?
Attorney is someone who types an attorney is more sophisticated than someone who types lawyer, just like automobile versus car. So, yeah,
Okay.
why not? DUI. Do people know? I guess I could go to Google Trends and ask which one is it, search more if people even know the
In
difference.
Missouri, it's mostly DWI, but people
Okay.
still say DUI. It's a good mix.
Okay. So let's do that. And let's run 15 by 15, 10 miles. How far away are your customers typically, clients?
30 miles, but
Thir-
not Kansas at all. And we're
Let's just,
we're a spread out city. People definitely drive 30 miles.
okay, let's go 30 miles. So like this.
But then we're close to the Kansas border, so we have to watch the line.
Okay. Okay. Which obviously you mark in your service areas and that thing. Okay. So this
Yeah, in my LSA, I have
yeah.
where we don't go for sure.
Okay. So let's see. Let's go look at the money one. This is a blog post. So your main location service page is this one for DWI, heading of Kansas City DWI lawyers. Google even says that trying to fool them with H1s, trying to jam your keywords into these H1s, these big headings doesn't work anymore. So you do have a fair amount of information here, but remember Google changed their guidelines a year ago from EAT to EEAT. And EAT was expertise, authority, trust, which you have here. But any ChatGPT can basically, anyone using ChatGPT can basically generate this here, right? So what is extra E to make it EEAT? Experience. So you understand how ChatGPT works, right? It just generates all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've used it to generate things, yes.
Okay.
But
So
not for my.
So Kim, I'm not a lawyer, but let's say that I wanted to create, Dennis's DWI Law Center.com or whatever, right? And I use ChatGPT to write articles on every one of these things here, sex crimes, criminal defense, all this. And, I made a beautiful site that loaded fast. Could I create, Kim, a site that had web pages that were just as informative or better than what you have here, just using ChatGPT? What do you think?
I do think so.
Okay, so that's what Google's using as the standard. I know in law, it's in the United States, you're innocent until proven guilty, but in the world of Google, it is guilty until proven innocent, right? It's like 99% spam out there. The majority of the internet, I don't think people realize this, is spam. The fact you even can still use Google is incredible. I'm biased because I'm a search engine engineer, but that was my job, is to try to give people good search results from all the SEO experts out there. If we know that we have to show that we are real, that we actually do the thing that we say that we do in the city that we say we do it, that's what SEO is. Actually proving to Google beyond a shadow of doubt with a ton of expertise and real examples and client testimonials and real pictures of Kim. And, some clients don't want to talk about how they got in trouble or whatever it is, or other experts, because you go to
that's challenging. Yeah.
I get that part. And reviews are like, who wants to admit that, plastic surgeons have it even harder than you do. Because especially like in LA, because these celebrities never want to admit that they had fat sucked out of their butt. I know a lot of celebrity plastic. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. But the point here is that you have to show things that a chat GPT cannot generate, that you have real experience in the particular cities. I didn't see any location pages. So that's an easy, here, let's just do this. My friend Kim is a DWI lawyer in Kansas City.
Kansas City, Missouri. You do have to say Missouri. There is a Kansas City, Kansas.
We are working on her SEO, and I know it's run on census, but whatever, they don't care. Looking at her location service pages, of which she has none.
What's a location service page? Isn't that my Google My Business stuff?
No. What cities should she be listing, given that clients will even come from 30 miles outside KC, but not from Kansas?
Correct.
Okay. So from here on out, I'm just going to show you how to use ChatGPT and your real information to do this SEO. And then I'm going to hopefully convince you that this is something a young adult can do with a little bit of training. So you don't have any location pages. You have service pages, but no location service pages. So what you do is you have to create a page on the site for each particular city. Even though you get a DWI in Granville versus Belton versus Raymore, there's no difference, but you still have to create location pages.
Gotcha.
And then these pages, unfortunately, I spent 3 days with Google engineers and had to sign all the NDAs, so I wouldn't bother telling anybody. But basically, they said even if the content is basically duplicate across all your location pages, it still counts because it's technically not unliked or frustrating to the user. So, because people from Excelsior Springs, like, what's the difference between getting a DUI there versus there's none? But for some reason, people they just want to know, whatever. So you don't have these location service pages. Now watch. I'm going to say, where is this? Oh, here it is. I got too many tabs open. Now I'm going to paste in the text from her page on DUI. Please critique it harshly, because if you don't tell it that, on PAA, that she has answered. I don't have to spoon feed it. The thing is very, very smart. Like, it knows. You can ask it, say, you're Dennis Yu. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. Like, okay, I'll pretend to be Dennis Yu. I'm not Dennis Yu, but I'll try my best to, and that she has answered, not answered. And please grade her, grade each grade her on each PAA on a scale of 1 to 10. With 10 being amazing and 5 being average for lawyers.
What does PAA stand for?
People also ask. So if I type in DUI lawyer Missouri or Kansas City, Missouri, this is SEO in plain. I can't even spell Missouri. I spelled it like potpourri. Okay, this is so freaking obvious, but people don't do this. Okay, so you want to do SEO? Search on the keywords people are looking for. DUI Kansas City, Missouri.
Right.
Okay? All right, there's an ad. There's these people that are showing up. We saw this guy. He's ranking #1 on that.
And that's me.
People also ask, how much does a DUI cost in Missouri? How much does a DUI lawyer cost in Kansas? Do you even need a lawyer? Like, what's the statute of limitations? So people start asking these questions. What does a lawyer cost? What's this much per hour? And there's this, and what is it, that? And do you go to jail? And so do you think, Kim?
A lot of that was Kansas, though.
A lot of what?
A lot of that was Kansas rather than Missouri. So I don't know.
Oh,
a lot of those.
Right.
See how they.
Okay, you're right. Okay. So do you allow Missouri?
And your search was Kansas City, Missouri.
Well, this just shows you people don't know. I think lawyers and doctors have this thing where they overestimate the intelligence of the consumers because you're not arguing with the judge. Okay. Yeah. So here we got these questions. Can a DUI be dismissed in Missouri? All right. How do you beat a DUI in Missouri? All right. How long does it last? Can you go, So, all right. Do you think, Kim, if we just went through these, if we looked at the top keywords you wanted to rank on, and we looked at the PAA associated with them, do you think that we could record a Zoom where a young adult or me or somebody, or one of my young adults interviews you and basically just asks you, hey, Kim, question for you. How long do you go to jail for a DUI in Missouri? And you say, well, Parker, the answer, that's an interesting question. The answer is blah, 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 blah. And then we just, for an hour, we go through, 30 questions. You think you could do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think we can then, based on that Zoom call for an hour, or maybe, you take it in 2 30-minute segments, and we repurpose those into articles that then go onto your website, repurpose them into LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, social media snippets, basically following this 4-stage content factory process. You need to put in just an hour. And that first purple box, you see that in the 4 stages, the first box, that's the only box.
Yes.
You have to leave that box. Box 2, 3, and 4 is managed by your young adult or VA.
Yes.
Yeah, and they take that content, they take the testimonials, they take all this good stuff that's happening, and they move it through steps 2, 3, and 4. So processing is using ChatGPT, it's using Descript, it's using all these things, and then it turns into all kinds of content. And when you run ads against it using our $1 strategy, that's when it starts to rank, because Google sees that there's click signals like we talked about, right? That is going to be the core for your SEO, Kim, because that shows real expertise. How many attorneys are in your firm?
There's three attorneys besides me, the owner, which I don't handle any cases.
Okay. And I imagine you have some in-house intake or some other folks answering the phone?
I have two VAs that do intake, and then Smith AI is the service if we don't answer the calls.
Got it. Okay. So here's all the related PAA. And then we could even paste in the PAA. We could say, here's other PAA. copy. So this is us using Google against Google, but not like against in a way, but like, feeding Google it told us people.
Take advantage of what Google's giving us for
Why would
free.
we answer the questions Google says we need to answer, right? Okay. I think I need to plead guilty. Are there options to fight my DWI charges? Okay, well, you sort of answer it, but these other ones you kind of don't answer it. And it tells us that the AI told us here. See? Now, lawyers will say, "Oh, I don't want to use ChatGPT because, it gets things wrong and hallucinates." Yes, but it gets us 90% of the way there, and then you can come in and sort of, finally tweak it. But
Exactly.
it gets us 90% of the way there.
Right.
So now I'll say, could you go ahead and enhance the existing text to get a 10 out of 10 on these PAA? Then watch this. I'll grade you on a scale of 1 to 10. So please try your best to get a 10. I'm talking to like this, like an autistic child, because there's only so resource the thing has. Now remember, this AI is like this puppy, but who's super intelligent and is trying to serve everybody. It doesn't have enough resource to put in lots and lots of effort for everybody, because it costs it like a nickel a query. Okay, it's like every time we press enter, it costs a nickel. But I want them to spend $1. But it can't do that for everybody. So if we beg and plead and we act all nice, it will work harder for us and give us a better answer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you're nice to it, my friend.
Simply by using it, please try your best, it's actually going to do better.
Yes.
That is so strange. I wouldn't think it has that kind of emotional connection in the AI that it needs those emotional type words. Because with an autistic child, you would never say, please try your best, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, it's not a great example. So you remember Boston Dynamics had these robots that would, jump and do all these things, like, and now they walk around, carry things, they're like agile, right? They can do flips. And some of these researchers were mean to these robots. Like the robot would bend down, pick up the box, and then the guy would just like kick the thing. The robot would fall down, pick the box back up again. And they're like, it doesn't matter. It's a robot. It doesn't have any feelings. Well, I'm of the firm belief, and my other friends that teach AI and are in tech believe, you should not be mean to the robot. You should be nice. And we have proven in the last few months that when you are nice, you get 11% better results.
That's crazy.
We don't know why. It doesn't quite make sense. It's very like surreal and like matrixy. But when you are nice, and please, like it actually, for some reason, it just treats you better. Okay, so now it's given us these answers, and I'll say, and then you can just take this and paste it in. Okay. But you never give it a 10, because you always want the thing to keep working, and you never take the first answer. You always keep improving. That's why you have to iterate, have a conversation. It's not the magic prompt. Oh, the magic words to say to the AI, and it just magic abracadabra genie unlocks everything. It doesn't work like that. I'll give you an 8.5, which is good. But to get a better score, I need you to answer the questions, the PAA that Google says is associated with this query. Here they are. Please answer to get a 10 from me. Do you see like the psychological thing I'm trying to do here?
I do, and it's crazy. You're having to treat it like a human. It's crazy.
Yeah, but just try it my way, and then try it whatever way anyone else told you, and see what the difference is in the quality of the results.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see what's going on here. Now, if you paste this stuff in, within 2 weeks, your SEO is going to significantly improve. Just pasting in enhanced ChatGPT data. And Google admitted to me privately that this is okay, even though this is not a black hat technique, right? A black hat technique is like trying to trick Google and trying to do something that's clearly bad. But the reason why Google said, when I asked them about this, that this is okay, is they said that this actually is better for the user, the technique, where it actually does yield answering these questions actually is a better experience for the user, right?
Right. You give it what the user wants, what their questions are, and help them. So it makes sense.
Google and ChatGPT are both tools that are helping us provide a better user experience. Okay. So do you think, Kim, based on what I showed you to do this on just this one page, you can do this for the other service pages you have, or have some intern or VA or whatever do this?
I definitely think that I personally do not want to do this. I personally want a VA dedicated for this, maybe a part-time VA, because I don't know that I need a full-time VA, but I feel I'd like to see happen is someone from the Philippines who
Yeah.
has your training, does all this, and I get rid of my current SEO company and I want someone dedicated to me alone.
Yes. I think you should hire someone full time because even though this is probably, when you ramp someone up, they have to go through training. It's not like out the gate, they're an expert. It takes longer because they have to learn and this kind of thing. But I think within 90 days, a Filipino who's starting from nothing basic, but like basic digital literacy, but doesn't know like how to do the stuff we're talking about. I think in 90 days, they could do a fantastic job here. And then they'll only need 3 or 4 hours a week. But so then you would start giving them social media repurposing. You give them podcasts that you're on. You give them, learning how to use Canva, do images. Like there's lots of other things in digital marketing that they could do, right? And
Yeah, and like you had where I give an hour of my time, you had that 4 pillars.
that's right.
I would definitely want them to start incorporating that.
Yeah, and then you have, when you are working with clients or people in Kansas City or just people in the church, whoever you're affiliated with, and you just make little 1 minute video interviews with them, or you're just walking in the park and you want to talk about, I don't know, something, then is the Arch in Kansas City? No, that's St. Louis. So I'm getting confused. Then
That's St. Louis. Kansas City, we have the Chiefs.
that's right, the Chiefs, Super Bowl. Okay. So, but you want to say something about the Chiefs, right? So maybe if I go look at Missouri, so I'm looking at my Google Photos, right? This is off of my iPhone, everything off my iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in, I guess that was in Kansas City, whatever, a couple months ago. Oh, this is Braden. This is the guy I want you to talk to. So we were here in Kansas City, right? And we were eating barbecue.
Yeah.
This place, you can see, right? So all this information.
I'm trying to figure out which barbecue joint you went to, but yeah.
So
you were in Westport. Gotcha.
Southwest Airlines. I'm with Shep Hyken. This is in St. Louis. We're at the Arch, walking and talking. I'm wearing my Harvard shirt. There's all these things that are occurring in Missouri, right? This is I forgot. Oh, this is the big self-storage people. These guys have a ton of self-storage chains all over the place. So if we take your location, actually, you don't have any location pages, but if you did have location pages from different neighborhoods and you started, featuring clients that were okay with talking about you, and so and so is from Greenwood, and so is from Kansas City, and so is from whatever, just to flush out those location service pages, then you would have great information for the location and the service pages based on your real experience and what you have to say about this. Because this doesn't include like this random shaking hands with the lawyer, whatever. This is probably stock art.
Stock footage.
And this, look, this is ASA law firm. There's a bunch. Where else is where is this thing found? Look at all these other places that are using this exact same thing. iStock photo, right? So let me ask you, Kim, when Google sees that you are using a bunch of this, like this cop writing a speeding ticket, and it's just stock art, let's look. And it's not a real picture of anything. See? Deposit photos, that's where it came from. Yeah. Look at this. Look at all the places it's using this same thing here, right? Sure. What does Google think when your site it's just generic stuff that was generated by ChatGPT or VA, which is the same thing, because it's not specific to your business. It doesn't reflect your actual experience. Anything about you.
Wonders if it's spam, I would think, or a fake spam website or something.
Put you in the same category as the spammers. And you're not a spammer. You're like, I'm a legit lawyer. I've been doing this for many years and blah, blah, blah. But you're guilty until proven innocent, right?
Gotcha.
So this is where a VA would come in and start putting in real pictures and things. And what I would do, this is ironic, is I could probably beat you on these SEO things because I would actually inject pictures of like, there's this place that I'm eating, whatever this is, pork ribs or something, right? And Clayton, Missouri. So if I had a location service page on Clayton, Missouri, and I talked about all the different things in Clayton, Missouri, and my friends in Clayton, Missouri, I could probably beat you. And I don't know a thing about law. All right, so let's take a look at the report that ran, and let's see how you rank. You're going to rank closest to where your GMBs are. And, oh, wow. Okay, then. So on DUI, you don't really rank at all. But that's a more competitive term than DUI lawyer, which is actually the money term. So I'm not too worried that, and the average results were in 13 on this 30-mile radius. Let's see where they are. You'll have like one green dot. Yeah, I see. You have one green dot where this GMB is, and then you don't show up anywhere else. This is what happens this is okay. It's not that bad. You're actually better. You're like half covered here. DWI attorney, let's take a look. You'll cover like 5 miles out. 10 miles out. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, the cool thing, Kim, is that this data is all here. It's like it's stepping on the scale. You can't argue. Well, see, this is where you have coverage and this is where you don't have coverage. Of course, it's more competitive up here, right?
Gotcha.
Like I'm a doctor, marketing doctor with a scale, and majority of America is obese, and they want to argue with me about whether they're fat. And I say, step on the scale. Don't tell me, don't argue with me how fat you are, on how much, what diet program you're on, who your coach is. Step on the scale. If you're 400 pounds and 5'5", I'm going to say that you're fat. So I'm going to scan your website. I'm going to look at how you're ranking. I'm going to see how Google looks at your stuff. I'm going to see, what keywords you rank on and why, and where your links are coming from, what position you are. Like I instantly, do you agree? I know I'm sort of preaching at you, but do you agree? Like this is actually very easy to audit, and there's no way for an SEO company to hide whatever they're doing and pretend that it's magic and proprietary and all that, like Jeff and I.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If you created location service pages in these other areas, you would start to win. You don't even need to create
And
more.
location service pages are merely those articles on my website that name the city.
A page per city. And it's just the same city name, Kansas City DWI lawyer, city name, that all of them, the same format. But then you start to have your VA start to add in this other stuff to show that you actually know something about that city. And here's how far away it is from our office. And here's my favorite restaurant there. And here's, I have a friend who's there, and maybe even go take.
And put that in the website, or you're talking about that needs to be in the website?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's not hard to do.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's what you should do. As you noted, this is the 4-stage thing. You just need to produce a little bit of content, hour a week, something like that. And then the VA will come in and do all this.
Yeah.
Or someone that you hire in Kansas City, like a Braden, if you hired a Braden to do that. Braden's probably going to start an agency soon.
Right now. Yeah, I'm definitely going to reach out to Braden. I already reached out to the lawyer I know in his firm. And I would like to start with a VA because I think that's what my firm can handle right now. Yeah. Where we are, size and the financials and the budget.
Yeah.
A VA that's trained by you, because me training them or me trying to teach this to them.
Yeah. No. So we have lots of friends that can help you hire a VA, or you can go in and follow our process and hire your own VA. My friend started the largest job board. There's 2 million VAs on this. This is the largest one in the world. And it's onlinejobs.ph. We have training here on how to do it. You basically pay like $1,000 for one of our certified agencies to go find you a VA, or you can do it yourself. But you can see we have canned job posts. You can just use these, and you can see all these people are applying for these different jobs, right? Content writer specialist. They're using the keyword rabbit because we use keywords, and use the keyword rabbit or squirrel. Use squirrel if you want to be a graphics designer. Use rabbit if you're going to be a content, whatever the thing is, we have a word you have to use, right? This one here wants this guy. How much does he want? This guy wants $1,200 a month. Come on now. You should be able to get a good one for under $1,000 a month full time. And you can see all this information about them. We have a whole way of screening them too, which you can use. Yeah. And you can see this is the one, this is a job. Oh, because this one we're willing to pay more for because this is a senior role. But you can see like, here's one. And you see here where I say, write the word rabbit. If they don't say rabbit, then they're disqualified because they can't pay attention to details, things like that.
Yeah. Love that.
So yeah, there's other friends of ours, and you could use anyone who will hire a VA, but use our job descriptions and use our training. And you can even send them to links where they can go through our training on how the Content Factory works, just like you saw with Jeff Hughes. We're openly showing how we do everything because we're setting a clear standard. That's why we're here in the Philippines. We just inked this deal with the government in India for certifications where people earn real credits by going through our stuff. Not just like declaring they're an SEO expert. That's what they all do. And in Pakistan.
Right.
Yeah, we got one in Pakistan. We don't want to tell Pakistan we're working with India or vice versa because they don't like that. But I
am fascinated. So if I were to begin this journey, the first thing I should do is go to the online jobs PH and try to find someone and get them connected with your training.
Yes, but if you just go there and list a job, you will get flooded with hundreds of resumes, and then you will not be able to filter all of them. You'll just get flooded. So we have a process that you can use, or maybe even one of our young adults can kind of help you find one.
And you're referring to the Blitz Metrics website if I'm looking to get started?
Yeah.
I go there.
So if you want our help, we won't directly hire your VA, but we can coach you along the way and make recommendations. But we're not a job placement company. We're here to enable the business owners to get their own VA, which is similar, but not the same thing because we're not a headhunter company, but we do want to establish a standard. And a lot of professionals like lawyers and doctors, they don't want to go through all this headache of, so we'll help them, right? But we're not a placement firm. We'll put your job posting up. Or actually, you put the job posting up, you paste the stuff, and we'll help you filter all the stuff and run the VAs through our training. But it's your VA, right? Whichever VA you select, it's yours. They don't work for us. The VA placement companies, they don't work for you because they work for the VA company, so they're not loyal to you. But
the VA finders is what I like, because I've worked with a company, 2 different companies, to bring me VAs, and then I'm paying them a lot of money and they pay nothing.
They mark up anywhere from 3 to 10 times. So if they're charging $30 an hour, the VA is probably getting like 5. I think it's not.
I have a VA. I pay a company $12 an hour, and the VA makes 3.
Yeah, that's just not right.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, and you can get away with paying 3, but if they're getting paid 3, I think the VA company should maybe take 4 or 5. 5 maximum. You can't. It's just not.
Because I'm already paying. Yeah, it's a ridiculous markup when I get they don't give any support. They don't provide any equipment. There's very little training, if any.
They found the VA. That doesn't mean they're entitled to this ongoing, 4 times the cost thing. I think even pimps would think that was not.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with using those companies.
But you see what it actually takes, just like what it actually takes to do SEO, what it actually takes to hire VAs. It's not hard. We have a bunch of eager young adults that have decided that college is not what they want to do, and they're doing this thing, which is great,
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much. My head is spinning with all this. I can't wait to rewatch this video. But the first place I'm going to start is if I go to your blitzmetrics.com Power Hour, invest in that, and then I begin the journey of finding a VA, getting them trained, and then bringing all my SEO and marketing in-house and implementing those 4 pillars. That's what I'm looking for.
So this one-time investment, we will help you, but not take over finding a VA. This also gives you and that VA access to all our training. And we have a Facebook group where they can ask, and you can ask any kind of questions you want along the way. And then at the right point, probably after you've hired that first VA, we'll get another call and just do an audit and see where things are and make sure that they're on the right track and that kind of thing.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Yep. And then you're doing a great thing in the Philippines. And we have our friends who are kind of in the Philippines. We're in the Philippines, but they're amazing. Say hi.
Hello. Oh, it's fantastic. Dennis is amazing. Yeah, doing great.
I've known Melvin for a long time.
I'm grateful. Thank you so much, everybody.
Sing a little bit. We did karaoke last night.
Yeah.
She can sing. She can sing like these Miley Cyrus songs that are like 3 octaves up. It's incredible.
Did you see her on the Grammys last night in the United States? The Grammys, Miley sang.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I thought the Grammys were great.
Miley performed her song Flowers, and it was amazing. I think it's the only time she's ever performed on the Grammys, too.
She won Record of the Year for it.
Yeah, she won.
Taylor won Album of the Year, and Miley won Record of the Year for it.
Yeah.
Huge win for her.
Well, it was wonderful meeting you all. I'm going to start by looking at this Blitzmetrics Power Hour and get the ball rolling.
Yeah. And it'll say things like related to consultation, or it's only like an hour, but this is our like generic consultation, right? So don't worry about that part. And you have this recorded too, and you're a lawyer, so you can go.
Are you going to text it to me, or do you want my email address?
I'll text it.
Video, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll text it.
Okay.
Okay. And just holler if you have any questions.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
What I'd like to do is feature you once you've hired your VA and the VA is starting to do some, and you start to see the SEO results improve. I would love to start to share the story of that VA and you.
Yeah.
And what a great relationship and where you were before, and and these audits are all public. It's all based on public information, right? Was there anything here that was not publicly discoverable, right?
No, that's crazy.
I'd love to share this as training in our group if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And I'll tell Braden that we chatted. I absolutely do.
Yeah.
Amazing. There's a lot of Bradens out there.
Thank you. I will reach out to him too. I've already reached out to the lawyer I know in that firm.
Yeah. And he's had a big headache. I mean, you and he both share the whole paying lots of money to agencies and not being very happy and not getting enough love, but also not knowing enough to really hold them accountable. So we know that's kind of the story. Well, just, anything you need, holler, let me know.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, Kim.
Have a great night, everyone.
All right. Take care.
Bye.